Everybody, it's me, Courageously. I wanted to come on and talk about my first nursing job because I think it's very informative and it's something that maybe can help some of those that have not officially stepped into nursing field yet. So my first nursing job, I have to say I really loved it. I was excited about it. So right after graduation, I studied for a month, took the NCLEX, passed the NCLEX. And I had my first job. So I already had my job. They hired me about a week or so before I took my NCLEX. And I was like, well, I haven't passed yet. And the lady that I was interviewing with, she was like, you're going to pass. And so they set me up to start on a Monday, and I took my test on a Thursday. And I actually got my results. I didn't get them, but somebody very close to me was like, I'll check them for you. And I think they checked, and it might have been a Saturday morning. And the results were there. They were back. I had my number, my name, everything was attached. I had passed. So when it was time for me to go to work over the weekend, I worked on my part-time job that I had all this time. And literally on working that job, I ended up having to work the weekend in my old role as well. So I was pretty tired, but I made it through. Point I'm trying to make is I literally started that new job. It was a scary time. I had a lot going on during that time. But that's how I got my first job. And I started working for a company working with developmental disability adults. At the time, DIDD. Things do change and language does change. So I want to make sure that I'm, speaking on that accord. So I really liked the job. It was scary because it was my first job. So I think I had 3 weeks of on-the-job training, and it was a great experience. I did not stay there as long as I possibly could have. It wasn't really for me, and I already had another job. And like I said, I ended up working with one of the managers on my final weekend in my previous job as kind of like a tech, a direct support worker. And she actually offered me a job because I actually should have already, should have been switching over. She offered me a job, and so I ended up taking that. So I ended up kind of shifting from one job into the other, which was the best thing because I got a little bit more intimate kind of learning, so to speak, without having so many patients and too much going on. So that's something to kind of be aware of. Everybody says that they can do the job and have so many patients, but not everybody does the job well, and some don't even do it to standard. So my reason for talking about this video is to make sure that you can actually do the job, because it can be quite difficult to manage depending on the caseload. Some people might have 22 on one side, you might have 30 on the other side, and state by state there's different things that happen. But what most people won't say is, oh, it's not hard. It is. It's very hard. It's very strenuous. It's very tiresome. And you may not have emergencies daily every time you step on shift, but you're going to have a lot of urgent things constantly happening when you step on shift, and it's going to be difficult for you to manage them. I think a lot of things should be changed, but as a new nurse coming in, truthfully, be honest with yourself. Don't put pressure on yourself if you don't feel comfortable. You can